Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Storms from last night have caused major damage to local areas. Find out which towns near you are currently being affected.
And middle school students in Macomb may soon have a building to claim as their own. That story ahead.
Plus, later in sports, Danny Fry has a preview of Macomb High School boys and girls basketball as they get ready to kick off their seasons.
High winds overnight have caused lots of problems for residents in west central Illinois. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4.
That's right. Local communities are still without power after losing electricity around 7 o'clock last night. In Macomb, police tell us tree limbs took out power lines on North Ward Street and smashed into a car parked on West Murray.
Last night's storms have caused major flooding in some areas in Macomb. Police had to close the 400 block of South Johnson Street. Drivers were forced to redirect around the flooded streets. The City of Macomb Public Works officials attempted to contain the flood before the morning hours. The street is now clear for residents and drivers. North
of McDonough County seems to have been hit the hardest by last night's storm. In Roseville, roofs were ripped off of sheds and barns. A barn collapsed and farm equipment was flipped on its side. Sheet metal and other debris were found all across cornfields. As of 4 o'clock, Ameren, Illinois is reporting more than 500 customers are without power. Knox County leads the outages with 285 customers without electricity. In McDonough County, all customers now have power. And kids in the West Prairie School District got the chance to sleep in today. Strong winds left the schools facing a power outage. And according to the district, schools are closed for today and will likely be closed tomorrow. If you'd like to know more about further closings, contact the West Prairie School District. And another district that closed their school doors is the Monmouth-Roseville School District. High-profile vehicles such as buses are susceptible to being overturned by strong winds. The district also closed because of power outages. Now, Nick, I know you and Emily actually went out to Roseville and saw some of the damages, and I know you even believe that a small tornado hit a barn there.
Yeah, we know it's not officially confirmed yet. Tomorrow afternoon, members from the National Weather Service in the Quad Cities, they'll be coming out and checking out the damage for themselves to determine if it might have been a tornado. But based on the wind patterns that we saw, very likely could have been a tornado itself. There was a lot of damage that was turned in different directions, and mainly a lot of people kind of confuse straight line wind with tornado damage. The main difference is with straight line wind, most of the damage goes in the same direction, while with tornado damage, things are kind of twisted and turned in different directions. And if you look at the radar from yesterday, that kind of is not the least classic severe weather setup we had. Really not a very pronounced severe weather threat whatsoever. But if we switch to the velocity data, I kind of circled there, you can see actually the rotation on radar. That was actually what we were looking at for the tornado damage. That red dot up there, that's actually where some of the damage that we filmed was sitting at. And if we kind of mentioned the way the damage lays, if it's not in a straight line pattern, very likely possibly a tornado damage. If we look at, I kind of drew in some of the areas where some of the debris was carried from yesterday's tornado, very likely not a straight line wind event, but instead a tornado. We'll take a full look at your forecast in a couple of minutes, including when the wind will finally begin to die down. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nick. And homeowners could find their property on a list of buildings under scrutiny if their tenants cause repetitive problems.
If we have repeated concerns for a house, let's say we go down there for a loud party, but we're down there like every weekend, after the 4th violation, that's when a house will be put on a repetitive concern list.
And Macomb police say that after 2 violations, they let the landlord know and leave them to handle the responsibility.
Macomb Middle School combined with the high school 25 years ago, and the Macomb School District is looking for a plan to get the middle school students out of the high school. Carla Teslicka and Mayor Mike Inman spoke to the Community Development Committee at the beginning of the month about the city contributing $25,000 towards a new multi-purpose campus. Along with the middle school, the campus would meet the needs of the McDonough County District Hospital, YMCA, and the Park District. Each of these services will contribute towards the $165,000 study cost. City Council will discuss the idea next Monday, where they will vote whether to go forward with the bidding on the project.
WIU students are making their voices heard regarding the state budget impasse. WIU's Internal Hall Council started in a mail-a-thon today to help push funding for higher education and to help pass a state budget. It will continue on through Monday and Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Computers will be set up in the University Union with a pre-written email that students can send to their legislator. IHC Vice President Kelly Rogers tells us why this event is important.
Well, it benefits because it lets the representatives and senators know that we care and that we're paying attention to what's going on. And so by flooding their email, this tells them that it's important to us and that we want it passed.
And if you want to participate in the email-a-thon, you can go to the University Union on Monday or Tuesday from 11 to 2.
Western Illinois students can now join a movement across campus to make a difference in our government. No Labels WIU is a chapter of nonpartisan national organization that focuses on uniting all parties and reducing gridlock in Congress. The chapter is made up of Republicans, Democrats, and independents that want to solve the same issues regardless the party. Although WIU's chapter is still getting a meeting time and place set up, there's a Facebook page for those who are interested. Visit Facebook and search No Labels. Calling all ladies, the Macomb Area Chamber of Commerce Lady Night Out event is taking place right now. Local businesses and stores are open now for Ladies Night Out. Ladies Night Out is a way for local retailers and restaurants to show the community what they have to offer. And the community gets a chance to give back to local businesses. Pam Kelso, owner of the shop No Place Like Home, has participated in the event along as it's been around.
We donated a gift card for, I think they have a wreath that you can win, and then we're having a drawing for a scarf.
From now until 8 p.m. There will be prize giveaways and in-store specials. Visit at least 10 of the retailers and restaurants and remember to get your card marked to enter the Big Buck giveaway. For a list of the Macomb businesses involved, search MACC Ladies Night Out on Facebook.
And the Performing Arts Society will host their annual gala and silent auction this Saturday. The gala will be held in the University Union Ballroom and will feature a number of food stations, a silent auction, and other activities. This event is an opportunity to raise money to provide free arts programming year-round to more than 6,000 school children in Macomb and the surrounding community. Reservations will cost $75 per person and are still available to purchase by phone or online. The event lasts from 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. It is sponsored by Mid-America National Bank this year. And WIU will be getting a touch of magic next week. Magician Bill Blagg will be performing on Wednesday the 18th in WIU's Hainline Theater. Blagg's show has been praised as 90 minutes of interactive, action-packed magic and illusion performed by the country's most prominent magical star. The show is hosted by BCA and kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $15 for general admission and free for WIU students if you show your student ID. More info can be found at bcabringsthestars.com.
One campus organization is ready to bring the cheers for families in need for the holiday. The WIU Graphic Communication Club has sponsored their 5th annual toy drive to Western Illinois Regional Council Project Santa program. The program provides toys, clothing, and food baskets to hundreds of local children and families during the holidays. Over 400 toys were collected for projects in 2014. You can donate new and unwrapped items and toys for all ages in room 134 on Canabla Hall through November 30th. And this weekend, the WIU men's basketball team is facing one of the last year's Big Ten champion contenders. The Leathernecks will open their season against Bo Ryan and number 17 UW Badgers tomorrow. They arrived in Madison earlier today, and this will be the first time the teams have competed in more than 25 years. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. in the Kohl Center. The game can be seen on the Big Ten Network and can also be streamed at btn2go.com.
And we want to correct a story we aired last week. In the story, we stated that Joliet students that had items stolen from them were attending Discover Western, when in fact they were attending the Marching Band Classic. We apologize for this error.
And coming up, a video from the Mizzou protest that has gone viral.
The Missouri student who is the center of the viral video speaks out about his reactions to the recent protests.
And yesterday's storm caused significant damage in certain areas of the Midwest. All that and more after the break.
Like his shower head in the streets.
I was shaking up pretty bad.
91-year-old.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At NEWS3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us. The stories that move us. The stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
My favorite thing about WIU is how much we work as a team. Everyone here has helped immensely, and when we work together, the outcome is amazing. Producing for the newscast, writing for the newscast, going to City Council every Monday, it's something that I've learned that it takes a team. There's no such thing as an I. If there's an I, then we know that something's going to go wrong. I really do believe WIU has prepared me for the outside world. I can't wait to see where I end up. I have to thank everyone that has been involved. You know, Jasmine Creighton, she has managed to help me overcome that scary part. And the way that you have a great show is not the content that you have, it's the people who you work with. And here at WIU, I have had a chance to work with some excellent people.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Now from Macomb, high definition, you're watching Colleen Judge, Anna Malay Zuniga, Storm Team 3's 5-day outlook, and sports with Jenny Fry. Live at 4 continues.
Student journalist is speaking out about a video about him that went viral.
Intentionally shoved anyone or pushed anyone. I did try to stand my ground when they were shoving me.
His response to the allegation that he was told that a woman to get out of his face and then proceeded to push her back. Tice doesn't believe he did anything wrong, but said if he could do it over again, I would do things differently.
And dangerous winds left Chicago commuters with one less option to take. The Chicago Skyway Bridge closed down earlier today from both directions after high winds caused metal roofing to fall off. Debris began to blow onto the roadways. Drivers were blocked from using this route for 12 hours, and the bridge reopened earlier this afternoon. And last night's storms may have spared the Macomb area of any serious damage, but not everyone was so lucky.
KCCI in Knoxville, Iowa reports.
Started praying, crying, whatever, and thinking about your family.
Home alone, Jennifer McGrath ran to her basement when the storm slammed her house around 3 o'clock.
Petrifying. Your house shakes and you think it's going to come off. You hear glass breaking, things being thrown against your house.
McGrath's garage was torn to pieces, along with several of her neighbors' homes along this street on the east side of Knoxville.
I've been police chief here almost 11 years now, and this is the worst damage from the weather that I've seen since I've been here.
Roofs ripped off homes, insulation in trees, and debris like this shower head in the streets.
I was shaken up pretty bad.
91-year-old Dorothy Whitlatch was sitting in this black chair in her living room when it all hit.
Something popped, and I had glass all over me, and there was the window was broken.
Those same strong winds blew over this semi-truck and tore part of the roof off Walmart.
It sounded like more than one freight train put together. I've never heard a sound like that in my whole life.
Swirling. It started raining really hard, and then we saw swirling and a bunch of debris in the air.
This video shows the water leaking inside the store.
I would assume Walmart, would be closed at least through the night.
Just feet away from Walmart, this mobile home park escaped untouched.
I don't know how it survived. I don't know how we are still here.
Many around town are thing since no one suffered major injuries.
I am thanking the Lord above that everybody and all the kids are okay.
But it sure is windy outside today. Find out if that's here to stay. All that and more with this weekend's forecast next.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd. Oh, I
every day across America. Excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
It is quite a picturesque day out there as you're taking a look at the Macomb Square. If you don't notice the subtle things, like the trees blowing in the wind and the American flag hanging on for dear life out the bank in the background. We are pretty mild though, 54 degrees is our temperature. We're drying out down to 52% humidity, but look at these winds gusting at 37 miles per hour still. This comes just after a day we're looking at gusts over 40 miles per hour. Current wind gusts across the entire region. I'm looking at things upwards in the 30s. In some places, still low 40s checking in. Last night was a little bit different of a story. Macomb picked up at our peak wind gust of 53 miles per hour late last night. That explains why a lot of places were dealing with a lot of power outages. But for the most part, everyone was dealing with low 50s or even upper 40 wind gusts during last night's storm. Current temperatures across the region, again, we're pretty mild. Temperatures in the low 50s, mid 50s, a little bit off to our south. Temperatures are going to stay warm for just a little bit longer, but changes are on the way. Look at the satellite radar composite. You can see we were just basking in the sunshine pretty much all day. That storm system that affected us yesterday is moving well off to the east at a very good clip, very strengthening as it goes across the northern Midwest and the northern Great Lakes region. We are looking at this high pressure that's starting to build off to our southwest, and that's bringing in this cool Canadian air. You can see the arrow just kind of follow it straight up to Canada. Cold Canadian air, and again, here's our storm system that moved on through. A big cold front now pushing well off to the east coast that brought the drier conditions and the clear skies to us. Tonight we're going to drop down into the low 30s. You might approach that freezing mark, but frost isn't going to be a concern because it's going to be so windy outside. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to increase into about the mid 40s or so. Area of high pressure begins dominating our area, and we're looking at gusts beginning to calm down through the afternoon, but it's going to be a breezy morning out there. Tomorrow night, we're going to get a little bit cooler again. Davenport only at 30 degrees tomorrow night. Temperatures will again below freezing on tomorrow night. But for tonight, we're down to about 33 degrees, breezy again, these gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour at times, so hang on to your hat if you're outside. Tomorrow, sunny again, 50 degrees is our high temperature. Gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour begin dying through the afternoon. 5-day forecast begins showing that nice clearing trend after the recent severe weather moves on through. Weekend looks pretty fabulous, 59 degrees for your high on Saturday with basically approaching 60 by this time on Sunday. But we're getting ready for our next storm system beginning next week, Monday and Tuesday. Our next chance of rain, possibly a thunderstorm.
That's not too bad, you know, as long as it's not anything like we saw earlier today. You and I were out in those wind gusts, and oh my goodness.
I think I have windburn on my face.
Lots of makeup. Lots of makeup.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
You know, with this weather, I'm kind of surprised that we don't have just basketball outside. It's kind of nice.
I don't know. I mean, the wind could take a shot a little bit off to the right, but up next is sports with previews, and more food. Here from Western Illinois, head football coach Bob Nielsen has the Lettermecks prepare for a business trip at Indiana State. Also, the Macomb High boys basketball team will try to build on a historic playoff run last season. And the MHS girls basketball season tips off on Monday. Find out what the team is working on for this season. All that and more next on Live Report.
Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change.
Let's go! To the Batmobile. Dang it. To the invisible jet. Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women.
I could use your help. Yeah!
Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back. I'm Danny Fry with sports. Last season included a Class 2A regional title and sectional championship appearance for the Macomb High boys basketball team. Now the Bombers need to retool as they move up to Class 3A.
We're coming off a really good season. We had a regional championship, made it all the way to the sectional finals. Unfortunately, we only have a couple of guys back that played significant roles on that team. You know, we had 10 seniors, and we graduated all 5 starters from last year.
Senior guards Grant Hannett and Joe Burke have been playing together since middle school, a bond they look to share with the underclassmen.
We kind of always just had that bond together. I mean, but we got a couple of younger kids, but it'll take a few games for them to get used to it. But I mean, we'll be practicing together and we'll get into it.
You got to be ready. You know, everybody's going to have a job on this team, and everybody, even if they're playing or not, they're going to have a job.
Last season, Coach Anderson missed the tail end of the season to rest after having a collapsed lung. He's more than excited to return.
Last year kind of ended on a rotten note for me personally, but the team did so well that it made me feel better about being gone. Huge debt to Coach Boehner and Coach Langworthy and the guys on the team from last year who were able to keep us together and be so successful. It feels good to be back and have that challenge to try to get this brand new group up to speed.
He's definitely got a lot of motivation. He's always excited. Even before the season, he's always talking to us throughout the day. And we have a lot of motivation to get one with him now.
Now there's only one thing left to do.
No one really wants to practice all the time. Everyone just wants to get out there and play the game. So, I mean, I'm just ready to be out there with my teammates one last time and have a good year.
The Bombers season tips off at the Pittsfield Thanksgiving Tournament on Monday, the 23rd, against Western High School. Over at Washington Street Gym, the Macomb High girls basketball team also has a stellar group of graduated seniors to replace.
Last year was a great year for us. We won 17 ball games. We were 2 points away from a conference title. And our girls battled and did a lot of great things. You know, we're trying to build a program here that we can be proud of. We've done some great things over the last 3 years, and this being the 4th year now with the staff and the system. We're trying to get, build on what happened last year.
The Lady Bombers lose 7 players from a year ago, a void they'll need to fill.
Yeah, they really left us big shoes to fill because they were very big role models for us, and they were like always those people in my life that I always looked up to. And now that they're gone, I have to fill those shoes and be that leader for all the young kids.
I learned a lot from the girls. They pushed the ball. They were always an example of what we needed to do, and we just want to do the same thing this year.
MHS is working on a new brand of basketball.
With these girls, I haven't really gotten the chance to play with all these sophomores, and now that I get to, I'm really excited to see what we can do.
Definitely our go-to is conditioning. If we can be in shape, we can outrun the other team and just wear them down. When fourth quarter rolls around, we'll still be ready, and we can push anything up the court, and the other team's just going to be tired and want to be done.
Macomb is hosting its own beginning of the year tournament loaded with talented teams.
The tournament's going to test us early, going to test us often, and you're getting 6 games in 5 days, so you're definitely going to find out what your legs are about you a little bit. But we're really trying to use it as a learning curve to figure out what we need to work on and what we need to progress with throughout the season.
The Lady Bombers open up the Macomb girls basketball tournament with Illini Bluffs on Monday at 8 o'clock inside Washington Street Gym. On Wednesday, Drew Whalen was named the Summit League's Offensive Player of the Year after missing all of last season due to injury. Whalen scored 10 goals while tallying 23 points this year for Western's men's soccer team. They're gearing up for the Summit League Conference Tournament as a 4 seed, taking on undefeated top-seeded host Denver in a semifinal tonight at 8 o'clock. With a 4-5 overall record, these final 2 regular season games are must-win for WIU football. This weekend, Western travels to Terre Haute, Indiana to face a very similar Indiana State Sycamore team.
They've had some tough losses, like a very similar year to what we've had. A team that's got a lot of offensive firepower, a team that's got a great deal of experience on defense. They're a very good football team. They do a lot of what I call unique things.
Kickoff at Memorial Stadium on the campus of Indiana State is set for 12:05 on Saturday. That's a game like all Western Illinois football games you can watch on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app.
We're looking forward to a win this weekend. Thanks so much, Danny.
Don't need it. Thank you.
See how Western celebrates the servicemen and women who help our country.
That's next on Live at 4.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Cracked out.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
And other administrators and staff at Western Illinois University honored veterans as well as current military members outside of Sherman Hall on Wednesday.
We here at News 3 would also like to thank those individuals who protect our freedoms by serving in the military.
That's right. It was a gorgeous ceremony yesterday, and it wasn't as windy as it was today. My goodness, Nick, make it stop.
Yeah, we're going to try to. We're getting there anyway. Tonight, we're going to get down to about 33 degrees again, cool, breezy. We're going to be looking at gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour, but tomorrow's when the winds are going to start dying down, a high of 50, sunny conditions, but those gusts are going to begin dying throughout the afternoon, down to calm conditions by the time we hit Saturday.
So it looks like it's going to get better. Just got to make it through these 2 very windy days.
As long as it gets better, I'm perfectly fine with everything.
That's right.
That's all from us today.
But you can stay up to date with us all the time on Facebook. Search News 3 WIU.
Please tune in for Good Morning Macomb tomorrow at 9 a.m. as we have a seat with the director of the latest theater production on campus.
For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Emily Manley.
And for Danny Fry, I'm Anna Malay Zuniga.
And from all of us here at News 3, have a great evening, Macomb.